Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Black Prose Podcast, where Black lives, Black books, and Black authors have always mattered. We are your hosts. My name is Oshale. You can find me on Oshi Reads on YouTube or BookTube and on Instagram or Bookstagram.
I'm Troy Nicole. You can find me here on YouTube at Inkflare Studio or on TikTok, which is Hexchronic.
I'm Brittany, aka Melanin Eclectic. You can find me as Plan with Melanin, Read with Melanin on YouTube, and then Melanin Eclectic everywhere else.
Yay! So welcome back. I know it's been a really long time since we have gathered, but it's a new year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. everybody. And we are coming to you with a new format, and hopefully this will be more consistent. That's one of our goals for this year. So first we want to start with some hot topics. So we got 3 hot topics to discuss today. First up, Mr. Cat Shake the Table William.
Shake the table? More like throw the table out the window.
Out the window.
There was so much information and I haven't even finished the whole thing.
I have only watched it on TikTok, not even gonna lie.
Oh, the clips. If you watch the TikToks, then you've gotten like the meat of it, because people usually just take like the meatiest things of what he said. Yeah. I did watch the whole interview. I took like a whole day between like driving to work and, coming home and stuff to watch it all. The most that I took from it was just people are tired of the fakery and the underhandedness. And by people, I mean like the Hollywood elite and stuff. They're sick and tired of people being fake, lying, stealing things, changing history to suit their, to make them look better. That's what I took from it. And I feel like the Pandora's box really opened with Cassie. And once that box opened, people are like, F this. Like, I'm not holding back anymore. I'm about to tell my truth. And that's kind of what I took from it as a whole, besides just like all the little juicy things that he was saying about all the, kings of comedy and, the dig that he made about Kanye and Kim. Like, I'm just thinking about the most memorable things off the top of my head. What else did he talk about? Just going in about how people have lied on him so many times. They said he was on drugs. They've tried to make him look unreliable. They've tried to discredit him so many times. The times that he's had to defend himself because people were trying to come for him unprovoked. The things that have gone on behind the scenes.
My question is, do you believe him?
I believe everything he says. I've always believed Cat Williams. I've always believed him. Like, whenever he would come out and be like, and give his little interviews, because if you've looked over the years, he's been saying the same things. He's just gone into more detail this time. I've always believed him because as someone who went to school for acting and who has friends in the industry, I know that it's not all peaches and cream. And I know that you have to do a lot of things that are very morally to make it in Hollywood. And there are a lot of gatekeepers. And it's like the people who make it, like the people that we see on our TV screens and the people that we see having comedy specials and stuff like that, 90% of those people have had to do things that make it very hard to sleep at night if you're a person that has a strong moral code. But a lot of people are okay to sell their soul, or they're okay to do certain things because the money and the fame and the big picture of like being successful is more important to them than morals. So for me, I've always believed him because I've heard crazy stuff and I'm just like, oh my God. So I've always believed him because I'm like, okay.
Wow.
Now, is he a bit dramatic in his delivery? Yes. And is he very he's very casually was like, I was in an Illuminati meeting with Ludacris. I'm just like, sir.
That part, okay, thank you. Because the way I died when he proceeded to talk about how like you can tell who's in the Illuminati based on like certain things, including the like long-faced, light-skinned wife. To this day, I have not recovered because, of course, the internet has gone and found every single Black guy with the description. And I'm like,
a light-skinned, hard-faced wife, I believe were his words.
Or long, yeah, hard. It was the fact that he specifically said hard-faced wife who never does an interview.
And a light-skinned, weird-faced wife that never do it.
One person ended up with a light-skinned, ugly-faced wife that's never done it. Remember I told you that if I say that, it applied to 7 people? It's part of what they give you.
I don't know if this is the Mandela effect in real time, or if he just said weird-faced wife somewhere else in the special that I'm missing. But no, you heard that, right? He said ugly-faced wife.
And we've never heard her talk. And I'm just like,
so specific about it.
To be fair, I really like Ludacris's wife. Like, I follow her on Instagram, and she's just minds her business and lives her life and raises her kids. So I feel like that was harsh.
Well, according to Cat Williams, that's literally what she was planted there to do. So I was like,
I feel like a part of the reason people who don't believe him or anything he says is because of his delivery. But I also feel like if you've watched Cat Williams over the time of his career, he's just like that. It's not a front. It's not a joke. He just literally is like that. That's why every time he's in a movie or a TV show, he's playing himself. Like, that is really how Cat Williams, like, whether he's in Friday or some other movie, he is playing that same character. He is always very dramatic and everything, but I feel like a lot of people don't take him seriously because he's so dramatic, and you're just kind of like, I can't tell if you're cracking a joke or if you're just being you. So I feel like that's part of the reason. But like, the three of us, we've watched Cat Williams pretty much our whole lives, and like, we're just so used to him being over the freaking top, and that's why people love him. So I think a good portion of it, I probably do believe.
Yeah, I believe 90% of what he said, but that 10% I think is like perception, right? Because if you ask two people to tell you about their experience about a specific event, they're going to tell you from their side.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So it's kind of like 90% of what he was talking about in terms of like people stealing jokes, people like...
Wait, the receipts, because the internet, if any, like, I was like, I don't know how the FBI seems to fail at so many different things when the internet can dig up every single detail of a person's life. And like, I was like, the internet has been showing all the clips that he said that Cedric or Steve stole from him. He said which show they stole it from and which show they performed it. The internet went and found every single one of them and put them side by side.
Yes.
It's like, ooh.
And now the more sensational things that I was kind of like, now Cat, is when he was talking about like, they all have a light-skinned, hard-faced wife. To me, I took it more as, we know that successful Black men in Hollywood equate success to proximity to whiteness. So when they look for a mate, they're going to look for a woman that's as close to whiteness as they can, if not just
I know white. You say it in the very logical way, but I feel like he was also saying the same thing.
He was basically saying like, that's how it goes here. Like, if you're a Black man and you're successful, behind these gates, behind these curtains, like the Wizard of Oz, when you go behind the curtain, you find out that the wizard is just some like old white man. Like, when you go back there, like, these are the rules. They're unspoken, but these are the rules. And right. I took it that way, but people are not going to hear him because they hear the word Illuminati and meeting, and the rest of that shit goes out.
The moment he said Illuminati, it was like, oh Lord.
Like, and he says it himself. He's a conspiracy theorist. But we could go on and on about this topic. But I feel like 2024, some skeletons are going to be coming out.
It's like every single time you said a bingo card, because I thought that the January bingo card was going to be about the 9-month cruise, not Cat.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, dang.
I thought it was going to be about Epstein's list.
Oh, that too, which is really anticlimactic, actually.
Well, it hasn't. I don't think it's been fully released.
It's been released, but it's not a list of like just names. It's like a 900-page document.
Ugh.
And so in the document, it'll say like somebody's name. For example, like Donald Trump's name is in there, but it'll have it listed next to him, like what's the association. So it'll be like client, associate, like that kind of thing. But it's like 900 pages.
That's a lot.
So the people that are like dedicated to this are still going through the documents.
Yeah, ain't nobody got time.
I was like, we'll never hear the names because you dropped 900 pages. I'm good. Give me the cliff notes.
All right, so we're going to move on to hot topic number 2. So number 2, as of today, the recording of this podcast, Sunday, January 7th, we have finally gotten the most anticlimactic baby announcement in celebrity culture history, Halle Bailey and her baby that we all knew she was having and that we all knew she had already. So she finally revealed that she did indeed have a baby, little boy named Halo, and that she was indeed pregnant when we said she was pregnant, even though she said she wasn't pregnant, even though her sister went on live and like cussed everyone out for saying that her sister was pregnant. I mean, even though DDG literally dropped so many hints that she was pregnant on X. I'll never get used to calling Twitter X.
I refuse to call Twitter X. I will refer to it as Twitter for the rest of my life.
So it just felt very anticlimactic. Like I thought they were going to do like a magazine cover. I thought they were.
Me too. I thought the reason that she was keeping it under wraps was that she was about to make bank. Because that was something very Beyonce of her.
I just feel like my whole thing about it was I didn't understand fully like the point of them combating the rumors when she wasn't really trying that hard to keep it under wraps. DDG was posting videos of y'all on vacation when you obviously are in a bathing suit and we can see that you have a bump, your nose is getting bigger, you're going to premieres that had nothing to do with you. Like you weren't really
when she proceeded to gaslight us, when we said,
outfits,
girl,
the way, like,
you with the black girl pregnant nose.
Yes, the pregnant nose, the outfits got bigger and bigger and bigger. My thing was when she was telling that horrible story about the nail salon, which we will not even go into that. She was struggling to breathe like a pregnant woman.
Yes,
breathe.
I felt so bad for her because she was so emotional. And I was like, half of these emotions are hormonal as hell.
You know what? Because if you think about it, someone who did pregnancy really well and hiding it are the group Little Mix. 2 of the 3 of them were pregnant around the same time. So what they did is that they would correlate outfits that would all be baggy on them. If 2 of them was wearing it, the third was wearing it. Like they were really keeping it direct. But you're not putting stuff on social media and going to events and then being like, "Oh, y'all are annoying." Like, well, we all know you're pregnant.
I'm trying to give her some credit here because I can't imagine being a famous person and wanting to just enjoy your pregnancy without the noise. But like I said, from the moment we saw her outfit, because, you know, her and her sister have been known for having slay outfits, but slay outfits that show lots of skin.
Yes.
Give lots of body. And when her body started getting covered up and it was like, baby girl,
it was very obvious.
It's spreading. And then she got on the internet like, that's anti-black. Like, my nose is like this because I'm black. Baby, I know that you're annoyed with people talking about your body right now. I'm sure that has to be super frustrating. But do not get on Beyonce's internet and try to tell the aunties that what we're noticing is not what we think it is. And then trying to make it seem like it was an anti-black issue. It's like you could have just gone the whole time without saying anything about it.
Yes. I would have had more respect for her if she had never just if she had just actually pulled a real Beyonce and never addressed anything, never spoken on it. I mean, it's not really like she was being asked. Like no journalists were asking her questions, no reputable journalists, nobody on the red carpet was asking her
Everybody that she was debuting with probably knew. I'm sure the Color Purple crew knew she was pregnant. Nobody even mentioned it.
Her whole team knew she was pregnant, obviously.
I think that she was just frustrated because she's from the generation that's on the internet. So she can see everything that is being said about her. She's on TikTok regularly. So I'm sure she was seeing all of the people who spent their entire lives devoted to dissecting DDG's videos.
That's true.
So, because remember, they even said the internet sleuths even figured out that it was a boy.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. I was like, how did y'all figure this out?
That's insane. See, I just don't like the lying. Like, you literally lied to the public because people called you out on it. And instead of just not saying anything at all, you would lie. And then you got your sister to go on live and lie for you and like cuss people out. Like that is the place where I just don't have any respect. And that just shows me a part of her character that I don't like, which a lot of things have been showing me sides of her that I don't particularly like. So I'm just kind of like, she still did irreparable damage to her brand because you now have people that don't like her because of this.
But isn't she like 22?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just going to equate that to needing to grow up a little bit more. Because I think that, I think her and her sister both, they both have moments where it's like, oh my God, they really are young. Because woo.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's like she had a lot to deal with this year on top of being pregnant and having the baby daddy make rap songs about his insecurities while doing all of this. So I'm just going to cut her slack. I'm glad that her and the baby are healthy. I'm glad that the not so secret is out the box so they can focus on something else. I hope she keeps the baby off the internet.
Same.
And I hope we continue to just hear the baby crying in the background.
Same. All in all, we wish her all the best. We're glad the baby's here safely, and hopefully her next pregnancy, she will actually just tell us the truth. Right. I mean, they're gonna know when she's pregnant again. They know everything.
Yeah.
All right. So topic number 3 is authors gone wild. And now this one, I will admit, I don't really know a lot about. So I'm gonna let y'all talk about this one.
I mean, I feel like everybody in the book world, no, I lied. Everybody in the world, because this actually made the news.
Yeah.
At some point. Yeah, like it got picked up by the news. The long story short is she created a bunch of accounts to go on Goodreads and low rate a bunch of POC debut authors, and then basically give all of her book all 5 stars. Then when what is their name? Zirin Zhao, the author of Iron Widow, collected all of the receipts and basically went on Twitter and was doing subliminal tweets. Then Kate and her little best friend or whatever tried to go for Bethany Baptiste because Bethany Baptiste used AAVE, basically talking about a white snake in the grass. And they tried to act like Bethany was making ableist statements against Kate and her best friend because Kate's best friend has some type of disability, which pissed off everybody. And then Jiren was like, fuck it, and just dropped the receipts and literally like set the whole book world on fire at once. I looked at the receipts because I was really nosy. And I just feel like if you're going to do something like this, like be better about it.
And you know what's really crazy to me, because I too looked at all the receipts of it. I think what's really crazy to me about it was, not giving anyone any, like, I'm not giving anyone clearance to do this, but you know what? If you told me this person was an author who's just been down bad, rejection, and it was at the just pinnacle of losing their mind and did it, I'd be like, that's still terrible, but okay. But this, like, Kate had a deal coming in.
Oh yeah, she had gotten a Lumicrate deal.
A good amount of following on social media.
And I heard from people who pre-read her book or read the arc that it's actually good.
Yeah, and people were really excited for the book to come out. So I was flabbergasted because I was just like, what did you do this for?
Illumicrate had just announced that they were doing a book deal with her, and then it was rumored that she was going to be on the Fairy Loot list and another subscription box. Like, I was like, get
all that shot to the deep dark depths of Hades because you wanted to do this, and also you didn't do it well. You mean you made all these accounts, and they could all be like, you didn't even go and give 5 stars to Harry Potter or something. You just gave 5 stars to your book.
Not to mention, she was creating fake POC profiles.
That's the worst part.
So it was like, girl, stop. Then, of course, after she got caught, she did the typical white woman frailty moment. Oh, I've been super depressed. I've been on medication, all this stuff. She also created a fake conversation in the Raylo Discord that was supposed to be between her and the quote unquote person who did it in her honor. But when she did it, she forgot to edit the chat bubble thing. So like at the top, it would show like the message happened today, but then the response would be from yesterday. When I tell you sis was doing everything but apologize.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's actually psychotic.
And then after she got caught, because the fact that the Raylo Discord came out, like, we don't even know who that person is. That's a made up account. That's not in our Discord at all. Then she came out with another apology, and I put large quotes around apology because sis basically said her medication made her racist.
Yeah, didn't she blame it on her mental health?
Yeah. Yes. I was like, I just
And a
want to
lot of people
know.
bought it. A lot of people bought it.
No. It was a lot of Caucasians accepting apologies for people that should not be accepting apologies, which I hope in 2024 we let that go. That if you are not the group that was accosted, that you are no longer accepting apologies for them. But, you know, of course, now she's claiming that she's going to go to rehab and
I
all
heard
this
that.
other stuff. And I was like, please let me know what the rehab does to address your racism. I would be totally intrigued to know that there's a facility for that because, girl,
I just don't understand all the energy that she put into this. For what?
that was my thing. To this day, I don't understand. I'm like, you would have thought that she had like, you would have thought that she was like a self-published author because nobody wanted her book and she had been trying to put it out for years. No, sis was like at the top of, was this Penguin? She was like Penguin. I think it was one of Penguin Random House's places. She was at the top of their list. She already had deals locked in. Her book didn't come out till like June. Her stuff was locked in.
So she's just not a good person.
No, basically. Yeah.
And people can make excuses, but those are just not the actions of somebody who is operating in their higher self. Maybe she does need to go to rehab and think about her actions.
Sure. Yeah, it won't stop her being racist, but at least she can work on her depression.
Stop her being racist.
What?
We are trying to get monetized.
I mean, I'm not saying anything crazy. I'm just saying, like, because I won't even touch on the other author because I actually just realized that I don't want to say her name. I don't want to give her more clout because sis really, I just want the Caucasian women authors that are coming out with books now and realizing that your books actually have to be good because we actually want to critique your books now. That does not mean attack your fellow authors. Like, I'm ready to read these fantasy books, but y'all gotta stop canceling your books before they come out. Because now I will never pick up a book with her name on it ever again.
The thing, they are still going to be supported. I'm sure this
they are.
Kate Corain lady is probably going to be a New York Times bestseller. Mark my words. When her book
as of right now, there is no published date for her book.
They're just waiting until the heat dies down.
Yeah. No, there is.
Did they change the date again?
They pushed it back 2 years.
Yeah, because at first it was pushed back 2 years, and I know that like everybody was like, "What the fuck?" And then they took off the date entirely. But I know if you go to Goodreads right now, there's no date.
Oh, okay.
But what I'm assuming we're going to see it in like 2026, 2027. I'm assuming that's when we're going to see it.
I feel like it's going to be before then because people's attention spans are very short. She's going to come out of whatever rehab facility and give an apology and cry, and people are going to rally around her and be like, you know what? You've learned from this. I'm just like, if people on YouTube, like James Charles, who actually assaulted people, and like all these heinous people, and Miranda Sings, who also assaulted minors, and all this stuff can come back and have their fan base and have people root for them and rally for them, this lady will be just fine. She'll come back in like some point this year saying she's out of rehab, give some type of interview, cry. And
I wish she would let Black Prose interview her.
So I'm calling it now. Before the end of this year, she's going to come out, cry, give some type of interview, and then it'll be like it never happened. I know. It's sad, isn't it?
That is very frustrating.
And the only people that won't support her are the communities that she hurt. But her community will support her.
Yeah.
Trust and believe. I know. All right. Well, let's go up to something more uplifting. We're going to talk about ourselves. So today's topic is 2024 plans, new year, new books, new schedule, same vibes. Just same vibes, but just more consistently. So we want to talk about the books that we're going to be reading this year, our schedule for this year, readathon plans, and just our overall like intentions for 2024.
Which is crazy considering that we had such high hopes for 2023.
Look, okay, so very briefly, we're going to address 2023 because we want to address the elephant in the room. 2023 was not the best year for Black prose. And just mostly because each of us had our own things going on. So it was very hard to focus on the book club. And it's kind of like when you barely have enough for yourself, it's hard to pour into any type of creative endeavor. And it's hard to give of yourself when you are just like, you need everything for yourself. You can't give anything out, right? So we all had our moments throughout the year. We're not going to go into details, but we were down bad. Okay, we were down bad. That's just the truth.
Such a nice way of saying 2023 was the worst.
It was a hard year. It was a very, very hard year, but we have put it behind us, and we are moving forward into 2024. And as of January 13th, Black Prose, formerly a Seat at the Table book club, will be 5 years old. We are.
Oh my God, we're a toddler.
We're a toddler.
Mm-hmm. We're still
like
here,
almost in kindergarten,
and we are still standing, which can't be said for everybody. So we're excited.
I'm sorry. I tried not to laugh, but
not touching my face.
We know we left out. We did not get to read the books that we picked last year. And so what will probably be happening is that if you go on our story graph, we'll have some read-alongs set up to read certain books. So we have our books picked out for the year, but like, we're going to be using story graph a little bit because story graph is doing something that Goodreads never thought to do with these read-alongs and these buddy reads and stuff. So we still gonna shout out them people. It's not that we didn't want to read. We just did not have the capacity to read
at all.
Yeah.
So real quickly, I want to talk about the books that we've chosen for this year. And Brittany, did you want to talk about our theme for this year for books?
Oh, our themes for this year for books was siblings. That was the thing. Since I think I've been harping on this for like 2 years, haven't I?
Yes.
About finding Black books that have strong friendships and strong bonds. And I think siblings usually have some of the best relationships and should be showcased more in books.
Yes, siblings or like sisterhood in general.
Yes.
So the first book that we'll be reading, we're starting this month, so January, and our new schedule is we will only be reading 3 books this year. So we'll be doing like every 4 months as opposed to every 3 months. So the first book, which we'll be reading January through April and then discussing in April, is Miss Chloe by A.J. Verdell. And if I can find a picture of the book, I may edit and put it in. But that is going to be the first book. So I tried to find it at the library, but I didn't have a lot of luck.
Yeah, I think this is one of the ones I'm going to actually have to buy because
I found it at my library from Maryland. I didn't try Houston.
Yeah. Houston, I didn't. Well, Brazoria County, I didn't find it. I need to check Harris County.
Yeah, check Harris County. So if you're in Montgomery County, Maryland, they do have it. I just don't know about anywhere else.
So I want to give like a brief overview of this book. Miss Chloe is by A.J. Verdell, and it's a memoir of a literary friendship with Toni Morrison. So it is nonfiction, and it basically just says Toni Morrison was actually born Chloe A. Wooford, and she was a towering figure in the world of literature when she entered A.J. Verdell's life. Their literary friendship was a young writer's dream, simultaneously exhilarating, intimidating, fulfilling, and challenging. The relationship crossed generations, spanned several cycles in life, exhibited high and low notes, reached and dipped and found its way. Like many women friends, these two writers imagined and built a relationship that was responsive, inventive, and engaged. Miss Chloe powerfully situates the risks writers face and the freedom they find when they put Black women's lives into words. Verdell chronicles her grief at Morrison's passing and finds comfort in Morrison's astute advice, wisdom Verdell didn't always recognize at the time. In this pensive and intricately, I don't want to read the rest, but it looks good.
I think it's because I'm reading historical fiction right now that I'm like, oh yeah, no, this fits right into the vibe of what I'm when I'm in the mood for. I'm like, give me friendships, give me life altering moments with people that change your life. Give me that.
Toni Morrison is one of my favorite writers of all time. Like, I have so much respect for her. Song of Solomon is a book that I find myself rereading often. Even if I don't reread the whole book, I'll reread parts of it. So I'm really geeked about this read. I've never heard of AJ Verdell, so I think it's really cool that this author had such a close relationship with Toni Morrison, and I'm excited to see like what that was about.
Yes.
So the second book that we'll be reading is from May to August, and it's called The Poisons We Drink by Bethany Baptiste. Ooh, this cover looks lit.
Oh yeah, no, I remember this cover, but obviously this was on my list of books I want to read, but it became even higher due to Kate really sending it there. It says, in a country divided between humans and witchers, Venus Stoneheart hustles as a brewer making illegal love potions to support her family. Love potions is a dangerous business. Brewing has painful, debilitating side effects, and getting caught means death or prison sentence. But what Venus is most afraid of is the dark, sentient magic within her. Then an enemy iron's bullet kills her mother, and Venus' life implodes. Keeping her reckless little sister Janice safe is now her responsibility. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I think that's enough.
That's more than enough. This cover is actually stunning.
Yes.
I'm going to have to purchase the physical book because...
Oh, that's so pretty.
I really want book publishers to start making it in their contract that like the artist that designs the cover should be allowed to sell poster versions of some of the covers. Because I would buy this one and put this poster in my library.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I just don't want the words on it. Like I want just the picture,
a whole print of it.
Yeah, normally I'm planning on doing library as much as I can. I mean, some of these I just haven't been able to find in my local library, which is disappointing. But this one
comes out March 5th. So, this one comes out March 5th.
Oh, well, that's understandable. Yeah. So that comes out in March. We're reading it May through August. Now, the third book that we'll be reading is called The Bookshop Sisterhood by Michelle Lindo Rice. And this book we'll be reading from September through December. So this is the last book we'll be reading for the year. And we tried to choose books that were either new releases or like we haven't heard people talk about these books very much. Just because we always try here at Black Prose to shine a light on books that maybe aren't as recognized or as well known. But The Bookshop Sisterhood is another one that won't come out until July 30th, 2024. Here is the cover. Let me see if I can show y'all.
Cute.
And essentially what this one is about is it says, when life rewrites the story, only friendship will see them through. After years of hard work, 4 best friends, Celeste, Yasmin, Tony, and Leslie, are finally on the verge of opening the bookstore of their dreams, a place where their community can find solace with an intriguing new read, a comforting beverage, and book-loving friends. And before they can cut the ribbon, their worlds are upended. Tony receives devastating news just months before her wedding, while Celeste's struggling marriage threatens to collapse completely. Leslie learns a shocking secret about her family, and a lotto ticket changes Yasmin's life, but not for the better. As the bookstore's grand opening, I can't talk. I never can. As the bookstore's grand opening fast approaches, the 4 women must lean on each other now more than ever to navigate their grief and uncertainty. And together they'll learn that sometimes even life's most unexpected plot twists can lead to beautiful new beginnings. It's the type of book where I kind of want them to make a movie out of it.
That sounds like the perfect book to end our quarter on.
It does. Hopefully somebody does make a movie out of it. I mean, I think it would be a really good movie.
As a person who keeps pushing for more Black contemporary movies and shows, I obviously would love to see this in real form. And I don't want it on the Oprah network. I want it I want it on a movie. Like I want an actual movie, not like on TV. I want a movie. I feel like with all the singing and stuff, well, I do know thanks to TikTok that like a lot of people clearly never like read the books.
So many people.
Because their reactions to things that are happening in the musical, I'm like, but this happens. Like, this is not even touching the surface of what they do in the book, honey.
Like, well, it kind of reminds me when people react to the Harry Potter films as well as the Hunger Games movies, and you can tell that they haven't read the books, and you're just like, oh, just
facts, sad facts.
I feel like there are two different types of fans, and then there's like a Venn diagram where they overlap. They're like fans of films of book adaptation, and they never read the books, and they just know these movies inside and out. And then when they start finding out what happens in the books, they start getting like, they're so shocked. And then there are fans who have only read the books and not seen the movies, so then they're super critical of the films. And then there's like a little place in the middle where that overlaps with the people who've consumed both mediums, and they're just like, well,
I knew there was no hope for us when I got on TikTok and they were using Lucy Gray's song from the new Hunger Games movie to frolic in fields. I was just like, that is
Are you serious?
It's actually pretty funny.
The song where she's like dying?
That's hysterical.
I was so upset. I was like, not only are y'all romanticizing Snow and Lucy Gray, y'all are now romanticizing the Hanging Tree song. No.
Right. I was like, is that song not the Hanging Tree song? Am I delusional? Like,
I feel like the people who do that are the same people that have plantation weddings, you know?
They're also the ones that were like geeking out over Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yes.
The documentary came out.
Yes.
They're all the same.
Because there's just like a disconnect and a romanticizing of things that are actually horrific, and it's just like, what's going on?
It's so interesting to me, especially with the Hunger Games, because like the whole point of the Hunger Games is to talk about capitalism and where the world could possibly go someday. And all people got from it was, oh my God, I want to bone the guy who plays President Snow. I'm just like, 'cause I'm hoping that's what it is. Like it's the guy who's playing President Snow, right?
The actor, not the actual character.
It's not. No,
that would be very disturbing.
Sadly, we can't even say that because
there are a lot of them. Like there are videos on TikTok of him playing Snow, and it's the character, and then a girl comes in and going, "I can change him." I'm like, "You can change what?" Mind you, I don't think people realize he has a granddaughter in the books. He has children, at least one we know of, because he has a granddaughter. He doesn't spend his life sad about Lucy Gray.
No.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? I'm finding more and more, especially on like, there's like this weird place where like book talk and like movie talk overlap. And I can always tell that they're overlapping, not because it's like, oh, you're watching the book to movie adaptation. No, it's more like really lonely, unhinged young people who really need friends and hobbies that are obsessed with like morally gray romances and like psychopaths as heroes and like villains.
Like, as a person who loves watching very problematic characters in anime and lusting after them in their said manner, I also recognize that they're actually evil, and at no point have I ever been like, I can change him. It's just been like, kill me too.
Oh, I love a psychotic man as the hero. Trust me, I'm there. But I'm also not sitting there delusional that this is a good person.
It's kind of like my feelings about this is gonna sound like nonsense to Oshale, but Tomura Shigaraki, because in My Hero Academia, you're sitting there like, you're not wrong though, you're not wrong, but you're doing such heinous things. Like
he basically is like the Killmonger of anime. The sense of like, what the reasons for which you feel you need to do this are not actually wrong. I actually agree with you 1080%. However, you're kind of like doing all of the illegal I can't support the murder and pilfering and stealing and kidnapping and ruining people's lives thing.
One of my favorite monologues that he does is early when he and Deku are talking, and he basically tells Deku, it's kind of unfortunate that you're in my way because I kind of like you and I don't want to kill you, but I'm going to kill you.
But I love him just the same because of his self-awareness. I'm like,
He's so self-aware. He knows he's a mental patient.
he knows he's horrible, and like it's many times in the anime where he's just kind of like, we could have been friends.
Yeah.
If you would only just got out of my way. Ew.
Wow.
Yeah, but I love him.
Oh my gosh. But it's like you love him for the character of the unapologeticness of him being
Oh, yeah,
true to
no.
who he
I
is.
love a strong villain in the
Yes.
sense of their conviction. And like, I love that there's nothing that's going to change him. I love that like you're going to have to eliminate him to make him
I
stop.
kind of love Snow for the simple fact that he is just this. You know, when we see him in the Hunger Games, we kind of get like pieces of what Katniss sees or what other character sees of him, and we don't really get him. But like, you can hear his monologue in his book, and you're just like, you're so awful, but you're just unapologetically awful. You aren't even like, oh no, I'm a good guy. You're just like, no, I'm gonna kill Lucy Gray. Like, that's just it. Like, he is who he is, and as I say, I don't love what he does, and I don't love his aspirations, but honestly, a good villain's a good villain. It is what it is.
I think good character development always lies in the villain of the story.
Yep.
100%. A good villain serves a very important purpose in a story. And I think now people have taken that purpose and have romanticized it. And that's just not necessary. It's not necessary to do that. It's okay for you to like a villain and respect the villain for standing 10 toes down in their evilness without trying to romanticize them.
Because if you really think about it, like if you look at the movies, the last Hunger Games movie, and there's that scene where Katniss is about to assassinate Snow, or I guess not assassinate him, but you know, kill him. And he kind of, what we've been giving spoilers to everything we've been talking about for the past.
Oh no!
So, spoiler.
I'm not apologizing.
There's that scene where he's like smiling at her, kind of like, you know, I didn't do this. Like I did a lot of things, but I didn't do that. And then she kind of, but like Oshile said, like, and Brittany said, his character was important for Katniss's journey, because instead of going like, okay, I'm going to kill you, she's like, no, I'm going to kill who's actually the problem right now, because you're going to die anyway. You're not going to survive whether I kill you or not. But she's going to live, and she's going to do just as much as you did, but in a different way, because Snow was just like, he even said, he's like, oh no, I kill children. Like everyone knows they do that. I don't care. But she's gonna kill them and pretend that she's a good person.
Right.
You know, it is like that. Like you can like this villain. I even like Coin, even though she's a jerk. But it is what it is. They're very important to those stories without getting on TikTok and going, I know I should just like Tom Blythe because he plays Snow, but I can change him. No, you can't.
You can't.
Dislike Tom Blythe. I don't understand. What is so bad about disliking the actor?
He's a good actor. I watch him in Billy the Kid, and he's really good. I get you, but Snow,
they take it too far. Too far. So I want to talk about our schedule.
Oh yeah.
So we talked about the books that we're going to be reading in the months we're going to be reading them. And don't worry, if you want to follow us on Instagram, we're going to be posting on there what our monthly schedule is. And as you may have already seen from watching this recording, we will be pre-recording all podcasts this year. That's a change that we're making. So we will no longer be doing live podcasts, but don't worry, you'll still get to interact with us live, because we will still be doing all book discussions, book talks live. So we'll get to interact with y'all on those. But for podcast episodes moving forward, we will be pre-recording, and we are working on finding a way to get our audio into other platforms. Is something we've been trying to do for 2 years now. So hopefully this year we'll be able to achieve that. So that's kind of our goal with the pre-recording.
Also, leave us comments. We still want comments. Just saying.
Of course, we still want y'all's interaction. It's just, this is the best way for us to make sure that we can get our podcast out to other platforms. And also, we will be bringing back some things. So last year we did not do the Black Book Summit during Black History Month for various reasons. But this year we will be bringing that back. Our plan is to scale back, though. We are not going to be doing all the things. So sorry. What we will be doing this year for the Black Book Summit is we will be doing a read along. We will be choosing one book, obviously by a Black author, that we will be reading throughout the month of February. And we will have weekly live shows where we will be discussing the chapters, the predetermined chapters. So The book that we're kind of thinking of right now, although it's subject to change, but this is what we're thinking, is We Are the Dying Gods, perhaps, book 2. Chelsea's second book. So if you missed book 1, maybe read it this month.
Yeah, definitely read it. Check out Black Prose video where we talked about the book, interviewed Chelsea, catch up, because I feel like we should, we don't normally do sequels on Black Prose, but
No,
if we are going to start doing some sequels, I think that's a good sequel to start with, because I've had the book for months and I have not had a chance to start reading it yet. So incentives.
So we're excited, and we will post a schedule. We'll try to do that within the next 2 weeks. We will try to solidify that this is the book. More than likely, this is the book that we'll be reading, and we will post the schedule of which chapters we'll be reading, which weeks, and when the live discussions will be, so you guys will be well prepared. But yeah, this is a great time to, the first book, absolutely fantastic. I will link the episode where we talked about it with the author right now. And yep, so we'll be bringing that back for Black History Month.
Yes. We're still looking for Black History Month, so this works.
Nice. It's the shortest month. I don't know why this irks me every year, but just realizing that it's the shortest month of the year always bothers me yearly.
I mean, we get 29 days this year.
That's true. It is a leap year, which is very exciting.
Yeah.
We're
also bringing back Throwback-a-thon. We struggled a bit. This is kind of when things started to break down last year, is when we tried to do Throwback-a-thon. It didn't really work out, so we kind of pulled it. We are bringing that back for this year. More information to come. I'm not going to go into too much detail right now, but just know we are going to be bringing back Throwback-a-thon. And of course, Naked, we will be bringing that back as well. So stay tuned for future, updates where we'll go into more detail, but we're going to keep our same readathons for 2024.
Look at us. Yay.
So what are y'all reading?
I just want y'all to know at this point, I'm going to keep mentioning Storygraph until we have a partnership with them.
I like it.
Because I'm doing a buddy read with my friends with The Memory Thieves by Danielle Clayton. It's the second book in the Marveler series.
Okay.
Then I am happily reading Codename Butterfly, which is the historical fiction of the girl who was a spy alongside Josephine Baker.
Nice.
Ooh. It's really good. Somehow I went from starting the book to closing the book at chapter 10 without realizing that I had read that much. So it's really good. And then what's the third book that I'm reading? Because as Troy put it, I read chaotically.
Yes.
Oh, Warrior of the Wind, the second book of Son of the Storm series. Okay. I am reading that one as well. So it's basically am I in a historical or fantasy mood determines which book I open.
Nice.
Yeah.
I am reading a ton of books right now. I'm not even going to lie to you. I have gotten really a ton. So many. I've gotten into my Libby app again, so I can read from my library, their e-library. 2 popular reads that I'm reading, at least they were popular last year, is Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune and Places We've Never Been by Cassie West. I'm also rereading The Dead and the Gone and Life as We Knew It and The Dead and the Gone, which I read years ago. It's basically when dystopian and what do they call them? Post-apocalyptic. What's that genre? Dystopian, I guess.
Dystopian.
When dystopian was really popular, these books were really popular. They're by Susan Beth. I don't know how to say her last name. Pfeiffer? But anyways, they were really popular years ago. And so I'm rereading them because I'm in a very dystopian mood. And then I'm about to start the audiobook, Jada Pinkett Smith's audiobook. So
I'm reading, I was calling Brittany chaotic until I realized that I was listening to 2 audiobooks and physically reading 2 books. So
the hypocrites.
I'm no better. I'm no better. Okay, so the first audiobook I'm listening to is Dracula. I reread this here and there. That and Frankenstein are like two of my favorite classics. So I've been listening to that. I've also been listening to Attached by Amir Levine and Rachel S.F. Heller, which is it's like a self-helpy type book talking about like the new versions of attachments that are around these days. It's really interesting and I'm really enjoying it. And then on a more lighter note, that was a horrible sentence. I am reading this book. I hate the title of it, but because it sounds like PXXRN. But it's called Hot for Teacher by Monique Fisher, and it's really interesting. It's about this woman who has a one night stand and then realizes it's like her son's teacher.
Oh,
So she has to, and it's a Black romance. Look how cute the cover is.
Oh, it's adorable.
I have seen that book somewhere.
So I've been reading that, and then I am trying to buddy read with a 10-year-old, the Percy Jackson series, because my godson really got into Percy Jackson and he read the first book and he wants to continue the next books because he's tired of me while we watch Percy Jackson not answering his questions because like, no, that's a spoiler for like book 3. And he's
an aunt, bro. Like
he's like,
if you want to know, you should read the book.
And I'm like, but if I tell you, you're going to ask me like 89 other questions. It's not going to make any sense if I tell you this right now. And so he claims he wants to buddy read Percy Jackson, the whole series with me. So I'm starting the first book because he finished the first book before me. So I'm starting the first book right now.
That's really cute. I love that.
You need to give us updates.
Yes.
Like, as it goes, we need to hear updates about what he feels about it, since we know this is your series. So like, I want to hear, because I feel like he's about to,
it's so
real
funny.
Generation A things.
What's so funny is that, him and I are really close. Because Shelly and Brittany know this, but you guys don't. I call him my godson. He's my first cousin. But we're 18 years apart, so he's young. But whenever he first read Percy Jackson, he came home and his mom asked him, like, what you do to school today? And he was like, oh, we started reading Percy Jackson. And she was like, oh, that's Nan's like ultimate book. And then he was just like, no way. And she was like, yeah. He's like, no, I have to read it. So he's really only pushing through because he knows it's my favorite book series.
That's really sweet.
That's sweet.
So he was so excited to tell me that he finished the first book and that he wants to finish the second one. And I was like, okay, because him and his mom have a book club together to help him with his reading comprehension. So
stop. This is so cute.
So Buddy Read is him wanting to get through it because he knows it's like my ultimate favorite series. That's like the only reason he even watched Nightmare Before Christmas, because at first he was horrified by it, and my aunt was just like, "Oh, this is like Nanan. Nanan means godmother. Nan's favorite movie of like all time." And he was like, "Oh no, I have to sit down and watch it now." And he sat through it, and I was just like,
the way that the kids in your life stand for you,
you're so precious.
Thank you.
I don't know. He's becoming a preteen now, so it's.
So wholesome, though.
He's wholesome for now. Give him 2 years, and that wholesome.
Said wholesome for now. Give him 2 years.
Well, just enjoy it while it lasts.
I'm enjoying it while it lasts. Though
These are core memories.
It's interesting because I'm his cousin. I don't really like. Everyone asks me, do I feel like his aunt? And I'm just like, no, because he acts like a little brother. So I'm just like, honestly, when you get to be 12, okay, that's fine. But yeah, so that's what I'm reading.
I'm dead, but also cannot wait to hear these updates.
I would definitely.
Why don't I have a little kid that wants to like read what I read?
I know. I feel there's a hole in my life now.
He only wants to read it because there's no action and stuff. He's very much like Brittany. Like, he does not understand reading stuff without fighting action.
I feel so tried right now, but also I understand.
Like, he will not, like, he doesn't do romance. He doesn't do like.
To be fair, I've gotten a lot better because of my obsessive need for contemporary. The only way I can get contemporary Black people that are not dealing with some type of like racial trauma is Black romance. Because all the contemporary books, when you read it, it'll be like, Sheila and her best friend are two best friends on the prowl. However, she has to deal with being the only Black girl in the office. I don't know why. Contemporary Black books, we always got to be depressed by some white person being super microaggressive or something. And so we spend half the contemporary novel talking about our plight as a Black woman. I'm like, no, I want a group of Black girls eating pizza, drinking wine, and laughing at our whore friend who just had a one-night stand somewhere. That's what I want in a book. That's the kind of like contemporary I'm looking for. I'm looking for something that's super realistic. Black girls sit around and talk about inappropriate things all the time. We need books like this.
Yeah, he won't even read stuff like that. He doesn't read slice of life, nothing like that. Like
I would eat up some Black slice of life. I would eat it up.
Absolutely. Like if we watch a movie together and there's not action within the first 10 minutes of the movie, he's just
he's lost interest.
No, he's just like, no. Like he yelled at me the other day because he was talking to me about the Miles Morales Spider-Mans, right? That I've never seen. And he was just talking. I'm like, Dakota, you're just spoiling what stuff for me. He was like, you haven't watched Miles Morales? And I was just like,
I have learned that you saying you have not watched Miles Morales to Generation A is basically saying like you hate happy things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he was like, so, but you watched the other Spider-Man? I was like, no, I haven't watched that either.
You're just breaking his little heart, weren't you?
He was like, you said you like Spider-Man. I said, yeah, I'm also a millennial, so I like old Spider-Man.
You like Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
No, y'all got to speak for yourself on that.
And Andrew Garfield.
That is not a we thing. That is a y'all thing.
Oh, you didn't like Tobey Maguire?
No.
What about Andrew Garfield?
I love Andrew Garfield, but not because of his role as Amazing Spider-Man.
Huh. Okay.
I have nostalgia for the Tobey Maguire movies.
Me too. I have a lot of nostalgia for them.
I give respect to Tobey because he was one of the people that kind of like jump started our generation into superhero movies and really like gave the push to Hollywood to actually start trying to make good superhero movies.
Oh, wait.
Because we didn't have a superhero movie between Tobey and the old 1980s Batman movies with like Arnold Schwarzenegger and stuff. That was the large gap between them.
Just realized I totally lied to him because I definitely saw the Harry Potter, the Spider-Man with all of them in it. Because one of my favorite scenes are, you know, when they're all talking about their power or whatever, and Toby's like, he shoots it out of his hand, and they're just like,
you're talking about the last Tom Holland Spider-Man?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I have seen the more recent ones because
that one made me cry.
And that was really funny because Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland Spider-Man are like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
Which is really a testament to the comics because, you know, like he's definitely supposed to have a gadget to shoot it.
Yeah.
But, you know, they gave him the bug that bit him and then he had that.
Mm-hmm.
So I have seen that one. It's just, I watched it out of context because I did not know what was going on.
Oh my gosh.
We are going to move on to announcement.
Oh, Shalay, why don't you announce since, you know, you did something over the last month that nobody was expecting.
What'd I do?
You came back to YouTube. You came back to YouTube before Black Prose did.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay, yes, I did return to YouTube. I need to make more videos, but I didn't realize, I was like, I forgot how time consuming this was. I don't know about this. I'm already like,
Back it up.
It's so time consuming. But yes, I did come back to YouTube. I have a lot of ideas. I just don't know about a schedule or execution because I didn't realize how time consuming. I forgot how time consuming it was to make videos. And I also don't want my reading to be impeded or influenced in any way by BookTube videos. So that's kind of like where I'm trying to find a nice.
I think you should have a designated day once a month where you record videos. If that's one video for that month, that's one video for that month. And I think it should be whatever you want to talk about. And then, you know, if they get videos that month for you, they get videos that month for you. If they don't, they don't.
That's a great idea.
Because that's what I did last year. And it actually was great.
Okay. Yeah.
Any Melanin Eclectic announcements?
Well, we were supposed to kind of jumpstart. Y'all were supposed to see my face like all last week because obviously this is the planner time of the year. So I had a series called Mastermind Your Year already started, ready to go. We were supposed to go live all that stuff. However, I've been sick since Christmas. And then as I was finally getting over that, a godforsaken demon bug thing that I have yet to identify because I cannot find it in my house decided to bite me in my face. And then I had an allergic reaction, which caused an infection, which is why y'all don't see me on camera right now. Needless to say, I sat here and planned out 2024 because I've shown it to Oshley and Troy. I planned out 2024 for my business, social media marketing, 2 months ago. I have yet to be able to execute it because one of the many marketing points of this year was my face, and my face was assaulted by an unknown creature.
And you know what? This is just the setback for the launch forward. It's going to be okay.
Listen, it's very hard not to do the whole, oh my God, I can't believe I started off the year like this. What if this is an omen for everything to go wrong? I've been trying really hard not to spiral.
Don't.
So right now, I'm just taking it as like I'm a week behind schedule. So like y'all are going to get videos and stuff from me from planner stuff, but it's going to be a lot of voiceover for now. Until I'm 100% back. But yeah, no, life is whooping my behind still, and I need it to stop. That's all. Now, the person that has 8,000 subscribers would like to talk to y'all.
Okay, TikTok queen.
What? Oh, me? Ma'am.
Why?
She said 8,000 subscribers. My brain went to YouTube.
Stop.
Oh my God, I'm so
dead. TikTok queen.
No, Brittany said 8,000 subscribers. So I thought
I definitely mistakenly said subscribers, but the way that you look genuinely confused is sending me to high heaven.
She meant followers, but it's okay.
You know, followers.
We're millennials. We're gonna say subscribers.
Oh my God.
We're millennials. We're gonna say subscribers.
Y'all seen that trend?
Yes. I'm sick of it, to be honest.
They're taking it too far.
We're Black Prose. We're gonna go off topic.
Oh, yeah. And
we
overtime.
should do that. We need to do a TikTok as Black Prose to do that because that's hilarious.
Oh God.
I don't really have any announcements though. To be honest.
Troy Nicole Taylor.
Oh, not my full name. I don't. What announcements do I have? Y'all just
So, in case y'all don't know,
Thank you, Brittany.
Troy is doing great things without even trying. And it's just her journaling, and she decided to put that junk on TikTok. And listen,
they're eating
it up.
It's blowing up.
We love to see it.
The girlies are interested.
Some are hating.
We will ignore them.
Yeah, actually, I will troll them. It's gonna be real. I get banned on TikTok regularly.
Oh my God.
I do. Yeah.
It's okay. You know, you've made it when you have hating ass hoes making really, really dumb comments. And
honestly, that's kind of the sign that you're going in the right direction, unfortunately.
Like I had somebody a couple days ago tell me that this was pointless, and I was just like, okay.
Oh, but you're watching it though. You should have been like,
I was like, not only did they watched it, engaged with it, commented on it, which means they're going to bring bot back to your videos again.
You should have said that. I love when people make hate comments and the creators go to the comment and say, thank you for the engagement. However, this engagement will ensure that you will just continue to see more of me on your timeline.
I was just like, okay. I was like, I don't care. Like, I think what did they want me to say? Like, oh, let me throw these away. Like,
right. It's like, I don't understand. You do realize all you had to do was scroll. You could.
Your mother deciding to bring you into this world was pointless as well. But here we are.
Oh my God.
No, I can't be as chaotic as Brittany.
You see how that escalated from like 0 to 1,000?
That's why I can't do TikTok.
She would have told somebody you should have been swallowed.
Oh my God. Why does that make me think of the TD Jake scandal?
Please, no, I'm not discussing that. No.
No, you know what? This just makes me think of that story Oshale told us about her costume party.
We will definitely not be discussing that on the good
But that was hilarious.
Oh my God. Barbie would be so proud.
Your Sagittarianism is coming out.
Oh my God.
Oh my Lord. But yes, as Brittany and Oshale, I don't know if it's news, but one of my TikToks is doing quite well.
Yeah.
Look how humble she is.
I don't know
I
what
just
else
love
to
to
say.
We're
see
making
it.
her super uncomfortable right now, but I'm just not caring because I've also deemed this year as a good year for all of us. So I will be highlighting every single time one of them has something good happening in their life. I will be highlighting it, whether they're happy about it or not, because we have
Brittany.
got to hold on.
Oh, Brittany. Brittany is the friend everyone deserves in life.
I
Absolutely.
try to be.
And I guess that's it for our very first podcast of 2024. We appreciate everyone that has stuck with us through these soon to be 5 years, through all of our ups and downs, through us falling off the face of the earth and not posting, to us posting, to all of the books that we've read, all of the former podcasts that we've had, the merch that we've launched, this everything we've been able to accomplish. We really appreciate all of you for supporting us over the years. And onward into this year, we are forecasting and putting out into the universe greater things to come.
See y'all on the 23rd. That's our next one.
Yes. See you for our next podcast. And make sure to follow us on Instagram if you want to know when we'll be posting, what we'll be posting, our schedule. And then we are hoping to be active on TikTok this year. Hoping.
We're gonna let Oshley handle that. I'm gonna be real with y'all.
Yes, we are hoping to do some things on TikTok.
All
That's
right.
it.
Stay black. Stay beautiful.
Bye.
Bye.